after 2006, when I had this book, Uncle Boonmee, which is distributed locally in a temple near my hometown, and I really want to do the film, but it's so complex, So I did Tropical Malady and Syndrome of the Century, and then there's an art project that made me travel in the northeast of Thailand. That is my area my region that I grew up with, and so I take this back again, the Uncle Boonmee movie, a book to make it into a movie, but not really stick to the original, so it becomes like an inspiration rather than adaptation. Yeah. So I'm curious about a guy who keep reborning in this place that is not really easy to live. It's very dry land and very poor. So it's the first time for me to make this film that is out of my my direct experience. Usually I made a film about my lover, my family, and this is about a guy who I don't know. So I have to put a lot of myself in. My father, for example, he died of kidney disease. So I reflect that in Uncle Boonmee and his house, the house that I grew up with. So I try to simulate that. We built a set at my house in Thailand when I was young. Yeah. So you can see that it's very personal, or this personal portrait of the land and of the audiovisual element that about 30 years ago, which I think is disappearing. Like now in Thailand or everywhere, people make very uniform kind of film. Even when we make a ghost horror film, we have a local narrative, but the language of filmmaking is very Hollywood. It's very mainstream, or it becomes maybe like a Japanese or Korean, horror film. So I think I miss the old style of filmmaking. So that's the project, how the project started. And then I was very surprised that the film got this award in Cannes. The fact that it's so personal and that it's very small, and you can tell the budget. So it's really good surprise for everyone involved, and at the same time it's a good inspiration for young filmmakers in Thailand in general. Yeah.
A ver, una cuestión que ¿todos entendéis catalán o hay algún problema con el
Yo
catalán?
preferiría castellano, si no os importa, por la
Claro,
referencia podemos...
Sí, como has empezado catalán.
Sí, no.
Perdón.
So it's three language. Yes, because the area, the northeastern of Thailand, has a very violent historical past in the 60s to as recently as the 80s, due to the communism that spread into the area. As I mentioned, this film is part of the project, the larger project that has an installation and short film, also with artist book and feature film. So in the installation, I focus more on the political issue in one village that people, brutally killed, and all this conflict. But in the feature film, it's more. I think it's more social and it's more personal in a way of remembering in another aspect of the region. So as a whole project is, I really hope to can bring the installation here, to Barcelona or something, so that it complete the portrait. Yeah. So become like that, and the film is so open, so people in Thailand or abroad have different interpretation in to the film. Some look at it as a quite political film, and some is more nostalgic or horror film or comedy. So it's very open. Yeah. Because of the land is poor, the people is poor, so many people move to live somewhere else to work in Bangkok or in Canada and other. So in the media also, the northeastern people has been portrayed in not such a good light, like unsophisticated. So this film is one of the very few films that the characters speak in the dialect, the region. And when we show the film, we have to have a subtitle, a Thai subtitle. That's from Uncle Apichatpong. It's different because I could have gone to the film archive to look at the old stuff that I grew up with, but I decided to work on memory. So it's not from any specific movie, but it's taken from my my comic books or television show in the past. All these strange creature in the jungle. So it's a mixture of this, and also the production style of the film, especially in the dinner scene. We have the lighting, so certain kind of lighting and certain kind of this ghost that has to be in between, ridiculousness. That has this man in monkey suit, but at the same time, it's not computer, but it's almost serious, but it's not. So I want the audience to feel this in between world. I think it's automatic when I make film with reference to old style that actually sometimes not exist anymore. This slow pace or this cheap costume and the rhythm is very slow, and the way of delivering dialogue, it's very obvious not only to Thai people but to foreigners as well that it's quite the acting style is old-fashioned, and that's one of the intention that is bring about the humor, and at the same time the awareness of this loss, the sadness of, for me at least, the style that is gone, dying.